Welcome back to the channel. My name is Torrence, and as you saw from the title today, things did not turn out the way I wanted them to. I am someone who likes to try out different things in makeup, and although I wanted to try an alien tutorial where I had a green complexion, the cheap creams that I used, not only did they not have any pigments today, honey, but they peeling straight off. Like this side, nice, smooth, going through it. This side, you can see it's a whole line going through my blush. This product just started flaking off as I was layering it. Not sure what happened there, but if you all truly want to be entertained watching me struggle to pull this look together, I'm telling you, you should do so, because it is just a reminder that no matter how much talent you have, how much patience you have, things can go wrong, and you have a choice of either A, letting that defeat you, or B, keep pressing on, using all your tips and tricks and just doing your best. Although I wouldn't say I'm proud of this particular look, I'm proud of the energy and effort I put into it to bring it all together. So I hope you all truly enjoyed this look. And I'm going to do a little more description on how I came up with this name and this look during the tutorial. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. But now we'll get into this tutorial. All right, you guys, time to jump into things. And just sitting here looking at all of the brushes and tools I have in front of me, honey. Even I'm a little intimidated with my own idea. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and this year I decided I wanted to try to do a couple of different looks. One of those looks was inspired by Nikki Tutorials. Another was inspired by Taj. She goes by Doni Darkowitz on Instagram. But for this last look, I wanted to get inspiration from someone, but not do basically my version of their idea after seeing theirs. I wanted to somehow incorporate someone else's idea with my own originality, and it's impossible to take your own idea and do that, make it your original idea if someone else has already come up with it. Until I saw one of my favorite YouTubers. She goes by the name Theresa Is Dead, and I love her channel. To me, she is like the epitome of someone who loves makeup. She's not a professional, and she does not take it too seriously. Either the makeup works or it doesn't. Either it looks good or it doesn't. And she always gonna say what she feels. She herself claims she has a garbage mouth. I can have a little potty mouth too, but I try to keep that off YouTube. But one of the phrases she uses all of the time is alien slut. And to me, the word alien, the first thing that comes to mind is green. Green being my favorite eyeshadow, that was no problem. I'm like, take it a step extra, what can we do? Green skin, okay, now we are alien. The word slut instantly just puts fear in my heart, because when I think of that word, I think of someone who unfortunately may have desires that are so strong that sometimes their health may not come into effect or play on their decisions, and that sounds scary to me. And with makeup, there are very few things that scare me, but one of those things is red lipstick. So I figured we're going to do a green alien with red lipstick. If you love red lipstick, it's not insulting you, I promise you. One of my absolute closest friends and cousins both love red lipstick. It's just, I had a childhood incident where I busted my lip, and red on the lip just instantly scares me, thinking of bloody teeth, things like that, so I try to avoid them. But for y'all and for the holiday, we're going to make it happen. And because we are going over the top, a lot of these things I don't use on a daily basis, so I'll make sure I leave everything in the description bar below. But enough of the chit chat, let's go ahead and get started. Because we usually start off with eyes, you all would normally not be here when I have my brows done, but today we're going to start things off with tinted colored brows. Not 100% sure of which colors I'm using, because right now I have, this is the Magnetic Palette by Adept Cosmetics. I'll leave a link for them down in the description bar below. But I created this custom palette full of shades, and today we're going to be using most of these right here in the top. These are my Juvia's Place palettes. I believe this is a mixture of the Tribe and the Zulu, so if I don't know the name of a shade, I'll make sure I leave that in the description bar. Because we starting off going over the top, doing the most, my alien can't have plain black brows, so we're going to change the color of them. I'm going to start things off with my Whiteout Longwear Brow Pomade by KVD Vegan Beauty. Absolutely love this thing. And what we want to do is take an angled liner brush as well as my e.l.f. Lash and Brow Wand, spoolie, angled liner brush, and we're going to put some of that product on the back of our hand, and we're going to completely saturate our brows with that color and outline them with this white, and then we'll top it off with the shade we want to change them to. So first, I just want to go in, fluff my brows straight up, and then we're just going to go in and slap and cake this stuff on. Just running it straight through, honey. Bam. And I mean, you don't have to be, you know, precise with it, but the cleaner you are with your placement now, the easier it is to clean up later. So I just want to go a little bit around the brows, like a little bit in front, a little bit under, a little bit over. And we just want to slap this in before it dries down on both sides. Now we want to take our spoolie and just comb that all the way through. We want to make sure the hairs are coated as well as the skin underneath. So we're just going to brush that through. And now we want to take our angled liner brush, clean that off on the back of your hand to remove as much product as possible. And as previously stated, I will be using my jumbo palette, but I do have the individuals here. And what we want to do is fill our brow up with shade number 9, this deep purple shade from the Zulu palette. We want to close that bad baby up before I dip into that one. When you first dip your brush into this, because it is coated with that cream product, it is going to cake up on the brush, but that is okay. What I've done is covered my brush on both sides, and then we're just going to rake that right through this white powder. Just brushing it straight up. And what this is going to do is basically go in and bake and set that cream with this purple color. And the more times you go over it, the darker that purple will become. We want to go until we don't see any more of that white. I remember the very first time I tested this method out, I purchased this white one because I figured I could change it to any color I want if I mixed colors in, but I never had the patience to sit down and actually mix them in each time. One day, just being lazy, I decided to just slap this white powder on, put the eyeshadow through it, and it worked, honey. I ain't looked back since and never bought the other colors because they make this powder in several different colors that I would have absolutely loved. But I figured it was a waste of money when I can just use the white one I have and top it off with whatever eyeshadow color I'm using that day. And we're just gonna keep going around, and now we're coming back for a second layer to make sure that's even darker. And we're gonna clean this up later, so I'm not really worried about it being messy right now. But any area that I see is still white or not coated with that purple, we're just gonna keep going back in, brushing our hairs back and forth, up and down, making sure everything is coated. Alright, so now that I'm satisfied with that, we're going to go in, do the other side, and I'll be right back. And we're going to try to flip our spoolie around because one side still has that white cream on it. So we're going to come to the fresh side, try to brush those brow hairs straight back up. So that way we can see exactly where we can trace them out later. Now that we have those filled in, we want to go in and outline them. I have a couple face creams here from Walmart. They had a brand called Rubies that just makes some 99-cent face creams. I grabbed a few colors of those. I have green for my skin. I have yellow for my highlight. And just in case I figured a color needs to be lightened a little bit, I did grab a little white color. And for an extra little flare, because it is the weekend, I don't know why I decided to test my limits, but we went ahead, got a little glow in the dark cream. Something tell me this either gonna be the best or worst decision I made in makeup, but we're gonna test it out anyway for y'all. And because I wanted to make sure that I have the options to mix as many colors as possible, I have my Cosmo Cube palette here. So to clean things up, what we want to do is start off with a good brush. I'm gonna use this e.l.f. concealer brush in the yellow cream, and what we're gonna do is go in, line up underneath the brows to clean that up. Actually, I'm gonna mix yellow and white. Do I want to do that? We're going to mix yellow and white. Ooh, girl, this is a fluorescent color, baby. Yeah, I'm going to have to mix a little bit of this white with that. And I'm just now realizing this was that brush from yesterday that got that red cream on it, and that's why I gave it this hue. Oh well, we already in it now. So what we want to go ahead and do now is carve out our brows and lay this as a primer for our lid. Gonna go in, cover that part, but our main concern is creating a nice little arch. And the one thing I am truly wishing this had was some more pigmentation, because honey, these creams here ain't giving me the pigmentation that I wish I had, but we're gonna still make it work. Yeah, we got one brow cut, but we're gonna go ahead and knock out this other side. And I'm blending out my lids with the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush here. Hard to hold all these brushes at one time. Just gonna buff this out just to have something on the lid there. Give us a base to blend with. To get this closer underneath the brow. And if you have a choice between trying to get this completely sharp for the brows or going up a little high, I personally recommend going up a little high, because you can always go back in with your eyeshadow powder later and layer another color on top of that. And we'll show you how to do that later. Now we just got to go in and hit that top up real quick, snatch those brows. Ooh, sometimes I wish I was both-handed, girl. At the base, girl. But we'll be able to go back in later and fill that in a little better. We just need a basic outline for now until we get foundation on. They ain't twins, but they sisters. Now I want to go in and set things with some RCMA No Color Powder. Going to use that on a Real Technique setting brush to set the lid. Okay, now we're going to dust this off. That face paint is not the world's greatest base, let me tell you. He is already caking and flaking. This here is about to have us looking. Whoo. We're going to test her out though. We ain't going to just judge her from the beginning. Okay, just to be on the extra side, we're going to start things off right here with Masai for our transition shade, and we're going to blow that up as high as possible. And I've loaded this color up. This shade Masai is from the Try palette, and we are just going to go in. Try to buff this up as high as possible. Nope. Yeah, no, that's not even giving me the layer and the pigmentation I want, so we're going to be right back. What we're not going to do is start off with a bad base, honey. I'm taking a makeup wipe and removing this base here, because that ain't going to get it. I can already tell by the way she layering and blending. Nope. I know what we're gonna do to start this off. That base was not sticking to the eyelid, and I was not about to risk doing a full eye look and then it just peeling straight off. So we're gonna go back in, instead of using that cream white base, we're gonna use the P. Louise white base, and then we'll do that cream base for the rest of the face. Jump cut and be right back. As you can see, we back at it. We went ahead and used that white P. Louise base because it covered things up. My brows are a little thinner than I want them to be, but I'm gonna show you how we'll thicken those back up. But once again, we're starting off with that shade Masai, very large tapered blending brush, my Wayne Goss number 16, and we're gonna buff that up as high as we can possibly get it. And starting off with this white base is gonna make sure everything comes off pigmented, honey. You want to take this, because it is a transition shade, once again, and blend it up as high as you can possibly get it. That green's starting to come through, but we want our one more layer just to make sure we have full opacity. Now we're going to jump ahead to the other side. Now that we have that first green down, we're going to go in with a smaller taper brush. This is my Wayne Goss number 17. And we're going to apply this shade Tootsie. Baby, these green and purples is giving me Joker vibes all over again, and we're doing a whole nother character. But we're going to take this green here, deepen up the crease, and baby, the greens are coming through. I absolutely love this palette. And I remember for a few weeks, it was not showing up on the Juvia's Place website, so I thought it was being discontinued. When I tell you, my heart was completely broken because I had never did a tutorial with it. Once I saw that they restocked it, immediately decided this was the palette I was going to use, because I did have another green palette. But I'm like, I know that one's still full-time, so we can go ahead and keep that here. And once we have our crease built up, I might go in with one more layer after this. We're going to go ahead and just blend and buff that up as high as we possibly can with this shade. It's only going to go so high though, because this brush is a lot smaller than the first one. And we're going to do just one more layer to build up our lower crease before we switch to the other side. Alright, other side now. And now, instead of going in with a smaller brush, I'm going to keep that same 17 brush and go in with this shade here, Sand. I want to use this as low in the crease as possible, so I'm not going to blend this up. I'm going to just build this up into the lower crease. Oh yeah, see, look at that pigmentation there. And I just want to do that one time on each side for now before we cut our crease. Now we're going to go in with our NYX glitter adhesive, coat our lids with that. And we're going to do so with our Morphe M421 brush. And because we are going for the attention today, we want to cut this crease really high. Make sure we coat all parts of the lid. Come in with a little bit more. And actually, we can go ahead and cut it in front of the lid today. And then go up and bring it high. Bam. All the way over. And now we are going to do the other side. Okay, and before we go in with our lid shades, we want to go back in with our number 17 in this shade Sand and build that up on the outer V. I'm just going to coat one side of our brush and pack that right there on the outer corner. For the inner half of my lids, I'm going to use this shade here, Kuba. And for the outer half of my lids, I'm going to use this shade here, Koro. I've loaded up my Sephora Collection number 60 brush. And we're just going to pack this on the front half here. Other side. Now we're going to hit up the outer half. And this shade Koro is my favorite shimmer in the palette. It just brings such a beam of light. I'm going to add a second layer of that just because she's so pretty. Hit up the other side now. Baby, we got a beam of light going right now. Okay, so what I want to do now, what do we want to do? I'm gonna cut off the camera, come back, and I'm gonna put on lashes because I promise you, if I try to put those on camera, it's gonna take me way too long. So we'll be right back. Baby! Look at I did not purchase these. These were sent as a gift with an order I made before. Not sure from which company, but these are the Zodiac lashes in the style Sagittarius. I am feeling these. Baby, let me get closer and show y'all. One, look how big and over the top these is. Like, the fact that they are this big automatically lets me know I would have never tried them out. But for today's tutorial, we might have to try these out again, especially knowing they synthetic, so they might be a little more affordable than some ink lashes like bat, 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 boom, boom, boom. But enough with that. What I want to go ahead and do is try to apply a little bit of foundation, and I'm sitting back like, I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, but what I want to do first is do a little patch test. I'm just going to take a little bit of this cream, put it right here on the back of my hand, and I want to see like how opaque is it going to be. Like, and yeah, girl, this is a sheer green cream. Like, child, the ghetto. Okay, so because this product wants to be so pale, so cream, because it ain't no pigmentation to these bad babies, what I'm going to do is mix in my white P. Louise base with this green cream, and then we're going to see how that's going to turn out, because she ain't giving us none of the pigmentation we looking for, sis. And just to save myself a little bit of time, we just going to mix this right here on the palette, girl. I ain't even about to go through all of that. And we're going to just see what she do. And this is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, the number 20 brush. And we definitely might have to go in and build a second layer of this. Go around those brows for show. All right, and let's blend this out. I am certainly going to want this green to come out a little darker than that. So we may go over it with another layer of just that green pigment. And this shirt is about to get ruined because we coming all the way down, like below the neckline, sis. Ooh. Oh, we gotta hit these ears up too. I forgot about that. Girl, washing this makeup tonight is about to be trouble. Girl, I'm the color of mint chocolate chip. I ain't even the color of an alien. But we gonna bring it together. We gonna bring it together. Let's get that whole hairline. Baby, I'm telling you, all I can think about is how hard it's gonna be to, one, get this off the skin, but how much harder it's gonna be to get this off these brushes. Get that ear, get all the way up to the hairline. Okay, and as you can tell, there's definitely some blotchy spots. We want to try to even that out from brush strokes. And we're going to see just how much more pigment we can get from this green by going over it with just that. Spread this color all over the place, and hopefully this deepens our complexion. And so far it looks like that is going to do so. I may even want to go in with a third layer to get a better color. But yeah, we definitely had to go in with that white first to get that pigment, because this was not going to do it by itself. You just want to make sure you don't forget anything. All right, we got that pigmentation, but we're gonna do one last layer just because I truly want this green to stand out. And because I am a fan of full coverage foundations, so seeing my natural color peek through when we're supposed to be holographic, that ain't gonna work. Ooh, I'm so glad we almost through with this. Baby, I promise you, by next Halloween, I'm going to have that Makeup Forever palette. I've been trying my hardest not to buy it because it's $100. But you know what? Every time I don't use it, I wish I had it. Alright, now that we have as much as that green as we can get on, because this is not the world's greatest product, as you can see, it's starting to patch and flake off in certain areas, so we're just going to have to deal with what we have. I want to now go in with that P. Louise base, as well as some of this yellow here to go in and add as a highlight. We want to make sure we still highlight all the normal parts of the body, and I'm adding a lot of yellow to give me a brightening effect in the center. And just because we have green skin going on, I'm going to pump a little bit of that green in there as well. 2 parts yellow, 1 part green, 1 part white. And we're just going to mix that with the same foundation brush. Okay, yep, and she created a nice little light lime green going on. We're just going to put that right here in all our normal highlighting areas. She needs a bright under eye. And we're going to try to blend her out with a Real Technique sponge, but we ain't sure how great this going to go. So we just going to go in slow, work our way around. Yeah, this don't want to build the way I want it to, so we're going to have to just do this. It sucks that this product does not want to lay down. Let me see if my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush should do it instead. You see, it is just basically removing that product instead of laying it down. Girl. this part here is terrible. How that product just moved off. Okay, so it seems like instead of actually blending it in, we're just gonna have to stipple to bring this product together. And anywhere it fades, we're just gonna have to deal with later. See, baby, what you can't do is come through and embarrass me. So what we're gonna do is put some of this P. Louise directly on the sponge. We're gonna blend them out like that. So you don't wanna act right with those cream colors, and we got the base down. We're gonna put this straight on it. Blot on the back of the hand. Get him coated with this white cream. And build it up like that. We may have some patchy and some flaky areas, but you know what? Y'all ain't gonna ruin today for me. To clean that area up where it completely flaked off, what we gonna do is just go in with this white cream. Screw it. It'll lay straight down. It's that color cream that ain't doing so. We're gonna put that white cream on the foundation brush and just stick with that straight there. Screw it. The green don't want to act right, it ain't got to. If this was a normal human, we'd be looking a mess. But all this extra layering and texture ain't doing nothing but giving my alien some extra oomph and glam. Baby, she peeling off real bad. Do you see this? I'm not doing this, no. I cannot figure out exactly what is going on. Although the product is peeling on one side, it is like completely falling off on this side. And I cannot figure out why. Like, I cannot get this product to just stick. This is some bull. I am literally just trying my hardest to just lay it down and have it not move. Okay, I'm going back in with just this green cream and laying that in thick, 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 because I put in too much energy and effort to let this video go to waste. Yeah, see, once you put the sponge on it, it just takes that product straight off. Like, let me see if I can get some of that white cream, not the P. Louise, just the white cream. And it feels like if you're just swiping, you good. Once you try to actually blend, that ain't happening. So you know what? If that's what you want to do, let's give it to you. We're just going to swipe this straight down. Okay, for some reason, just swiping this product is having it go on beautifully. But I'm not going to be able to diffuse the edges the way I want to. So this is what we're going to do. Instead of trying to blend and be flawless and be perfect, I'm just layering on the whites and the green and the highlight areas. And we're going to be as glam as we can get this way. Just going to slightly and slowly blend out the edges here. Slowly try to get the edges on this with a little more dark green just to bring those two colors back together. Baby, all that fussing and all that fighting, and that color thought she was gonna win. Ooh, see, look, I just tried to talk junk and go back in one more time. See? Torrence, get on about your business. What we about to do is hurry up and set this, because baby, I am scared it's not gonna hold on. Let me get me some powder. Ooh-wee, honey. I got my RC Made No Color powder before this stuff start to flake. Right here, I got some cosmetic wedges from Target, and we just gonna lay this straight into there. Press and bake. We want to hurry up and get this whole face before any of this try to move, flake, buff, fall off, any of that, honey. Get this under eye real fast, baby. Where you think you're going? Hurry up. Set you in place. Don't go nowhere. Get that head of that nose. Get up underneath them eyes, sis. Forehead. Baby, I ain't never had a product give me so much issue. Them dollar store creams, do not try them ever again from Walmart. Never, ever, ever again. And girl, look, I done already set this and it's still trying to flake and fall off. Like, how, sis? How? And just because it's the closest brush to me, I'm going to use this blush brush to dust off that excess powder. And it is crazy how this stuff is still flaking and still trying to peel. Like, sis, come on. I can't wait to redo this next year with the right colors, because my package for Halloween did not show up. And I could not wait to get this video out for you all. First of all, let me say, we finally got things set. But even with things set, this stuff is still trying to crack. And because this is an alien look, we're going to let the texture skin be. But I promise you, I'm never getting this product again. But what I want to do now is go in and clean up my brows before we go further. We're going back in with our angled liner brush and that shade number 9 from the Zulu palette. And what we want to do, since we have everything set down now, is just sharpen up the lines for our brows. Remember when we first went in and cleaned things up, a lot of things got erased. And now is the time to just go in and create really sharp top and bottom lines. And if need be, you can even fill in those spaces in the middle, give them a little more pigment. Makeup should not be this difficult. Okay, and you can see on this side where I did go a little bit too far down here, but we'll be able to just clean that up with a little highlighter later. Now to contour the smaller features on our face, we're going to use the 112 Precision Shadow Brush and that dark green sand color from the Tri palette. We're just going to load our brush up and try to slowly go in and buff this out the way we would any other contour powder. Problem with today is this base does not act like he wants to play friendly with other products, so we have to go in rather slow. We want to just try to go in and create strong lines and then just buff those out later. Ooh, normally I would not be worried about letting out contour, but I am trying my hardest not to move this foundation. A strong line is all right with me today. Still want to do my Cupid's bow. Now I have that same shade on a Real Technique sculpting brush. We want to go in and do our cheekbones. our chin. Forehead, because I got that big old one. Got a 5 head. Want to come across the top, help darken that. And our jawline. Just because we know we have not added enough color to the neck, we want to bring some of this down here. Try to cover up the lower neckline, but we know we're going to put something over that later. Okay, now we're just looking to see how we can get things to match up a little better. These look a little darker on that side than it does on this side. For blush, we're going to go in with shade 8 from the Zulu palette. Then we're going to top this off with shade 7. I want to go in with the huge, like, Barbied out pink blush. Up, and it started trying to remove my... Wait. Oh, it didn't move the product. That color just came off that strong. But we want to stipple that on. Do that on both sides. I was about to be so scared and upset, like, wait, how you peeling off, honey? We was playing good. But you can truly see the texture that has accumulated on this side compared to that side, honey. Hoo-wee. Now we want to go in and highlight, and baby, things is looking over the top, let me tell you. For a highlighter, I want to go in with something that's going to give me a nice green glam. So I'm using the Becca Light Chaser highlighter. It's in Topaz Flashes Gilt. A few years ago, everybody was doing the holographic thing. Some people call it the mermaid trend, some call it the fairy trend, some call it the unicorn trend. I called it the best one ever. I absolutely love dual chrome highlighters, and the fact that this one shifts between a green and a gold, baby, on most days, it was nothing I could do with it. But for this look, honey, we gonna pile her on. I got my IFA Ultra Radiance fan brush, and I am loading her extremely heavily. Gonna first start off with the nose. Baby, look at that beam. Oh yeah, we wanna go in and do that again. Hit up the Cupid's bow. The cheek. Okay, look at how strong that cheekbone coming through. Girl, yeah. My skin is getting all glowy and dewy, yes. Now for the last step, I wanted to go in with my new Fenty Beauty Stunner Lip Paint in the shade Unmatched, just because it is the tiniest, cutest little thing ever. But I said skip that. What I wanted to do was show you all one of my favorite lip combos. Although I usually never wear red lipsticks, sometimes when I'm just playing around in the house, I like to layer and play with different lip combos. And one of my favorite things to do that with, Fenty Lip Stunner Paints. I'm going to layer 3 different colors today. I have the black one in Uninvited, the red in Uncensored, and the pink in Unattached. What I'm going to do is put the black on as a liner, the red as a lipstick color, and the pink as a highlight. And I mean, we are being an alien slut, and because I have DSLs, honey, I got plenty of space to put this color down. So what I start off doing is with a darker color, we're going to go with our black. And we're going to put that on first as the lip liner, just tracing the outside as thinly as possible. sure we got enough to coat, so we're gonna go back in. Okay, first, you see we got that black. Oh. Oh. Now we're gonna get this red. Get close to it, but not cover it. And just because I have big lips, I want to go in one more time. And now, the pink. Just a little bit. See that? Now, we just take our lips and we blend like this. Girl, look at that blood red, girl. Look at that blood red, girl. And just because I'm feeling extra saucy today, we're gonna go in with a little bit more red. Yes, girl. Fix Plus to give us a glowy do. All-nighter so things last all day. Cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Going to give this a few more seconds to dry and I'll be back to show you all the final look. Welcome to outer space, honey. My name's Blasted and everyone knows I'll take you around the world with my spinning UFO. You all, this is the final look here and I am telling you, although I had fun trying to pull this off, I can honestly say this is the worst tutorial I have ever put on the internet. Like, no ma'am. The idea was amazing. I really had fun doing this, but those cream colors, baby, they wasn't worth the dollar I paid for them, honey. They weren't worth the plastic tube that they came in. So I promise you, if you all are gonna do complexion products, you got to put your time and your money into it. But I am someone who ordered some packages, things did not come in time, and I knew for sure, even if I were to send them back, I was not gonna get my refund in time. I wanted to get that Makeup Forever palette. It's $100 and I've been looking at it for the longest, but I had to be honest with myself and my finances and realize there's no way I could afford that and the new Pat McGrath palettes that are coming out, and I have to have those. Like, I got to have all of them, all three of the minis and that large one. I need them. So this is what we came up with, and I'm not playing, honey. This thing here, I don't even know what to think about it, but I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you also check out Theresa's channel because I absolutely love her content. She's one of those people that remind me you don't have to be a professional in order to be fun. Right now, I'm just keep looking into this mirror. And off camera, I did go in and add this boa and a little matte clear lip gloss on top just to give it that extra bit of shine because, hey, if we gonna be a slut, we got to make sure them lips is showing and known. As you can see, I did a little too much with the blush, too much, like everything is drawing attention saying, come here, look here, focus on me. But with this being the end of the transformation week, I hope you all truly enjoyed the entire playlist. If you missed any videos that I've done this week, I'll make sure I leave that playlist link right here above. Once again, please check out Theresa's channel. I'll make sure I leave that in the description bar as well. But with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.